Good morning and Merry Christmas. I am KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. Here's a live look right now looking at Galveston. We're seeing those wet roadways, and all of the heavy rain that was moving through the Houston area is now slowly starting to wind down across the Houston area and is now expected to move into along our coastal areas. So still seeing some dangerous lightning. The National Weather Service is now starting to peel back on those counties from the severe thunderstorm watch, but it's still including Harris, Brazoria, Galveston counties under that severe thunderstorm watch. As we look at the rain right now, we're still seeing some heavy rain in place, especially along and all across the Houston area with that flood advisory in effect until 3:15 this morning. We've seen close to 2 to 3 inches of rain, and we've seen some accidents on our roadways, as well as some possible issues on those roadways. Looking right now at I-45 North at Tidwell, you're able to see those frontage roads looking rather filled with water, and I believe that there's possibly some stranded motorists on the frontage roads along 45. So that flooding threat still in place here across the Houston area as we go through the early hours of Christmas Day. So the good news though is that you're able to see less lightning on the radar map across Harris County. That's a good indication that those storms are weakening, and if you look behind near Hempstead, even Waller, we're seeing that rain ultimately come to an end, but we've seen close to radar indicated 3.5, close to 3.6 inches of rainfall along 290 along the Grand Parkway in northwestern Harris County. And so they've already dealt with a tremendous amount of rain, and that is causing some moderate to minor flooding in and around the streaks and the streams and the rivers in that region. So 2.7 inches of rain in just north along the 45 corridor, and that is causing some problems along the roadways, but moderate to heavy rain still falling right now across Houston, but the good news is that this is expected to wrap up for the Houston area maybe within the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Now the heavier rain activity now bearing down along our coastal areas. So League City, Alvin, Angleton, even Galveston, you're about to start hearing that thunder and seeing the flashes of lightning. The good news in all of this is that we're not seeing any severe warned storms as of now. We're seeing this sort of weaken as it approaches the coastal areas with that front, that cold front moving through the area. But there is a special weather statement that's still in place for Brazoria, Fort Bend, Galveston, and Harris counties, as we could see some isolated areas with 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts with those storms. So as we look at future track, we're expecting this line of storms to continue its southward track through southeast Texas, eventually clearing the coastal areas as we get closer towards the 3:30 a.m. hour, and then behind it, mostly quiet conditions. The good news in this is that much of our Christmas Day is not going to be impacted by the rain and storms. We're going to see the conditions mostly dry out as we head into the early morning hours by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock this morning. So expecting a rather quiet Christmas Day. We are expecting those conditions to remain mostly warm. We're not really seeing too much impacts in terms of temperature fluctuations with this cold front, but we are expecting it to be rather warm for this afternoon. So for your Christmas Day forecast, high temps in the low 70s, partly cloudy skies. We're going to see those skies eventually clear out as we head into the next several hours by 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And so we're not really out of the woods in terms of this unsettled weather pattern. Christmas Day, mostly quiet, but Thursday, we're also going to have to look at the next weather system that's going to be on the way. We have another cold front that's going to be arriving by Thursday that's going to increase the rain chances once again for us here. So if you do have those travel home plans, keep that in mind that Thursday and Friday likely to see more scattered showers and storms across our area. The Storm Prediction Center is now giving portions of East Texas and Southeast Texas under about a slight risk for severe weather as we head towards Thursday. So not out of the woods yet in terms of that severe weather unsettled weather pattern, but temps are expected to remain rather warm in nature. Not really seeing much of a cool down in the next few days. So overnight lows in the 60s, might see some 50-degree temps as we head into Friday and into Saturday, but we're also expecting sunshine to eventually return with highs, maybe getting close to 80 degrees as we get closer towards Monday and into Tuesday. But we are expecting these conditions to remain mostly just a bit on the more quieter side as we head into the next few days. So rain chances definitely increasing for Thursday and into Friday, but we're expecting those conditions to remain mostly quiet for our Christmas day. So if you're just now joining me, the National Weather Service is now starting to peel back on those counties that were included in that severe thunderstorm watch. And so this is still showing portions of Harris County under that watch as we head into the next several hours. And so we're slowly starting to see that rain eventually wind down, even though we're dealing with some areas that have seen close to moderate to heavy rain. We're also seeing that lightning that's moving south of the Houston area. So behind it, quiet conditions. You're about to see that rain wrap up in Katy, even Spring, Conroe along I-45, likely to see more of this rain activity, but also that flooding threat is still going to remain in the picture through the early morning hours, at least as late as 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We've seen reports of some motorists that were stranded on the frontage road on the I-45 corridor. And so just keep that in mind that we are still dealing with rain, and that flood advisory still in effect until 3:15 in the morning. And that does include Harris, Montgomery, and Waller counties, as this area has already received close to 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. So Christmas Day looking better as we head in the next few hours, but we still have some time ahead of us now as the heavier rain activity is bearing down along the coastal areas. So all of that lightning south of Houston, and this is a good sign that these storms and this rain is going to be coming to an end, at least within the next maybe 30 to 45 minutes for the Houston area. And as always, we are continuing to track the latest weather updates, especially on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. Again, I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your latest weather update.